Hi everyone, my name's Cassie. I'm currently full-time traveling out of my self-converted school bus and furthering my personal brand, Blake and Cassie, if you'd like to check it out. Today I'm going to be taking you guys on a hiking tour through Hocking Hills State Park. Hocking Hills is one of the most beautiful and scenic areas of Southeast Ohio, so I totally recommend visiting for a hiking adventure. The Hocking Hills area is kind of an anomaly for Ohio's flat farmland. It actually has a lot of rolling hills, unique rock features, waterfalls, caves, and 25 miles of hiking trails. When visiting Hocking Hills, I recommend coming in the fall when the leaves are changing or in the spring when the wildflowers are blooming, and try to come on a weekday if you can because it does get pretty crowded. But the park is very kid-friendly, along with a lot of hiking trails for adults or solo travelers that want to hike a lot of miles. It also is good for groups, but it does get kind of crowded with some narrow trails, so I'd keep that in mind. When you arrive at Hocking Hills State Park, I recommend going to the visitor center first to get a map of the trails. A few must-see places to keep in mind would be Old Man's Cave, the Lower Falls, Devil's Bathtub. And if you're down for a little bit of a longer hike to get some more seclusion and some awesome views, I recommend hiking to Ash Cave as well. There are so many awesome waterfalls at Hocking Hills as well, so keep in mind the rainfall from recent days previously for the best views of those waterfalls. If you have a little bit of extra time or children in your group, I recommend going to the Rock House. It's less than a mile-long loop, and it's an awesome cave to be able to explore and play around in the rocks. Lastly, for even more hiking, I recommend visiting Conkle's Hollow State Nature Preserve, which is just a little outside of Hocking Hills State Park. It does have cliffs, so I don't recommend bringing kids there, but it is a lot more secluded if you are trying to find somewhere with less of a crowd. Most of these trails are dog-friendly. I also recommend bringing hiking shoes and bug spray and maybe even a raincoat. It does get kind of muggy down by the rocks and the moss. Also, be sure to bring your camera, of course, since it is one of the most scenic areas of Ohio. If you're ready for a bite to eat after a long day of hiking, I recommend stopping at Jack's Steakhouse if you want somewhere close to the trails to stop by to eat. Or if you have some extra time, I recommend driving back to Athens, Ohio, close to Ohio University, and going to Jack Yo's Pub. It's a great place for burgers and beers, and it is right next to the oldest college in Ohio, so it's a great place to visit if you'd like to get some history in your stop as well. If you fall in love with Hocking Hills and want to stay an extra day or two, I recommend camping at the Hocking Hills campground, or you can find some Airbnbs in the forest as well. Another place you could camp in Athens, Ohio is Stroud's Run Campground, which has an awesome lake where you could go kayaking or hiking. Overall, Hocking Hills is unlike any other area in Ohio. It's so beautiful and has so many unique land features, so I hope you guys are able to hike a lot of miles and enjoy the area as much as I do.